Everyone, and welcome to our weekly live. I'm Christine Jossie of Mail Something Pretty, and thanks for watching. So I'll say this a couple times throughout the stream. I'm using a new software, so I'm hoping it all goes well. I hope. Just realizing I have to find out where the comments are. There we go. Okay, so if you can, let's see. Nope, I don't want to do that. I'm learning this. So let me know if one, most importantly, if that you can hear me, and two, that you can see me, and we'll kind of work through it together. The reason why I've changed streaming softwares is the software I was using before, which is called StreamYard. I was using the free version, and that was fine, and that's still fine. But when Ann and I do our lives together, we need an upgraded version. And so I used to pay for the StreamYard and she used it. I invited her on and then I got rid of it and she paid for it. And anyways, the prices got crazy expensive. Kim's on, perfect. So anyways, we both have like the down and dirty details. We both have the free versions of the StreamYard. So we're trying this new software that we can stream on two channels at once. And so this is called Restream. And so we're giving it a try. So certainly your comments will be helpful. Kim just said hello, so I know we are good to go. So that is always a good thing. Thank you. Um, and actually, there's some new features on here that I can do. So it's kind of cool. You can kind of see in the, I point the other way, the corner, you can see my desk. And so I'm learning how to use these buttons. And so I think you'll still see my face while I craft, and that's fine. And so we'll see how that works out. Um, so let's see. Couple things as we're waiting for more people to get on. Um, there's a paper pumpkin sale going on from now until December 9th. And so if you have paper pumpkin already, you can always suspend that monthly subscription, purchase the prepaid subscription, either the 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months, and it's at a huge savings. Hey, Nancy. And so if you do the 3 month subscription, you save $20. So it's really almost one kit for free. So it's $61 instead of 81. If you purchase the 6 month subscription, it's $40 off. It's $122 instead of the 162. And if you do the 12 month, so if this is, I used to do this actually. If you get paper pumpkin all the time and are just plan to get it for a long time, this is not a bad choice. So if you prepay for 12 months at a time, you get $80 off. So that's almost free, almost four kits. Certainly three kits, 3 months for free. It's 244 instead of 324. That was in my email this morning, but if you have questions about that, let me know. Hey, Cindy, perfect. So I was saying at the beginning, I'm using this new software so I can see your comments, so that's great. And what else? This was all in my email this morning. So if you're not receiving my emails, please sign up because I had a lot of information went out today. There's a new product of the month, which is kind of exciting. So Stampin' Up is no longer going to be doing the celebration that they had done for many, 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 many years in like January or January, February, or January, February, March, depending on the year. And so they're going to do this, and this is going to, it's a program that'll be all year long. So December is just the first month. And so if you, with your order, if you order $75 or more, but $75 is the threshold, you have the option to choose this product of the month for an additional $5. And so the products will be different each month. This month, I forget the name of it, but it's a blue series of blues. I think it's mostly Night of Navy and Balmy Blue. 12 by 12 designer series paper. It's like a full pack. And I've actually seen the paper. It's beautiful and I really like it. And so that's for December. And I don't know what January's will be, but they're going to change it up. It won't always be paper. So that's starting. And so, yeah. And so I have my live with Anne on Thursday, which is the whole reason why we changed this streaming software. So we're just getting used to it. So you guys are my guinea pigs. And I'm sure Thursday will be a hoot because we'll be trying to figure it out. So anyways, let's get down to business. So let's see if I can, I think I can just switch that to that. Perfect. Okay. So it's kind of cool that I have to remember that, and I guess that's straight. Remember that my face is still showing as we are crafting. So these are the two cards. So I feel like I know I'm in last minute mode at this point, and so kind of scramble to get those Christmas cards done. And so I was looking around and saying, like, what do I have? What can I use? And sometimes I like to use up products. And so I have lots of this paper. I'm actually making gifts for my garden club members using this paper. So I knew I had lots of leftover papers. And so I happen to have, this was actually, it's even scored. It's even scored now. I don't remember what we made with it. But I have a lot of this, which, I'm a blues person. So I have all this blue paper. And so I thought we could turn it into a Christmas card, even though it's like spring paper. So that's what we're going to do. I saw a card online. I think it was Rhonda Wade, and she did a similar to this one. I'm just looking. It's like opposite. So you guys are probably seeing words that are back. Let me know, actually. Um, and I'm not going to be able to fix it right now, but it will be good to know. Are these words backwards to you? Just write in the comments. When I look at the screen, they look backwards to me. So I'll have to figure out how to fix that, but not now because I don't want to mess up the screen. So I just realized that things are kind of flipped. Um, oh yeah, so that says fa la la and let it snow. We'll figure it out. So anyways, I have lots of this paper and I liked her format. You can hopefully see, do it this way, that there's some ripped paper. So we all have scraps of white. So I thought that was a good kind of find what you have and throw some winter stuff on there. So that's what we're going to do. All right, words are backwards. Oh, darn it. Okay, that's all right. Like I said, you guys are the guinea pigs and we're figuring out how this works. All right, so we're going to make one portrait. We're actually basically going to make very similar cards to that. So we'll do one portrait and one landscape. I have that one already. So I'm going to, I always say this, I score first. So I'm going to score this at 5.5. And I'm going to cut this one at 4.25. I'm going to put that aside. We'll use that for another day. Just kind of tuck them in my packs of paper. And maybe at the end of this, I'll look up and see if there's something I can flip, but I'm not going to do it now. So we are going to make a portrait and maybe I'll do opposite. I'll do a snowman on this one and a Santa on that. So they're a little different. All right. So what I did with the paper is this particular paper works out because you can use it in this direction or this direction. So it just happens. I'm going to cut it at 5.25, which is my first layer kind of size for that side. And then I'm going to cut this at 4 and I'll cut 2 of them. And like I said, there's score marks on this paper, but this one right here, no one will ever even know, and it very well make it hidden. That's, I think, it for the trimmer at the moment. So one will go in this direction and one will go in that direction. Yep, they both have score marks, but we won't even see it. So then what we're going to do is, before we put this on the card base, we need to attach our snow. So I don't know if you have a box of white paper, but this is how I keep my scrap white, just in this box. And I find that I use it, like even this was left over from an event. I even just put the whole bag in there. Circles. So I just, we all kind of use scraps. And sometimes they're all a little bit on the smaller side. So I'm going to grab some of these are the big ones. Let's see here. Those are probably a good size. I just wanted at least as long as my paper, so at least 5.25 long. Oh, nope, not quite. All right, I think we're gonna have to use some of the big ones. Okay, so all we're gonna do is rip paper. And so, oh, actually, hold on. I did want to show you. Yeah, I want to do some that were longer. All right, so I'm just going to actually just rip my paper. So I don't want to like rip like little bits like slowly. I actually kind of want to do it as a faster way because that way you get a little bit more of this rough edge, and that's what I want for the snow. And then you can use, so let's say I ripped it like this, and then you can use the opposite because the back side has a little snow, and then you can kind of layer them on top of each other like that. Or because this one's longer, I can even shimmy it over. So if I say I wanted this side and then say I wanted it more like that, I can do that. I actually think I want a third layer in there. Where did I put my white box paper? Um, we'll use a skinny one. Oops. Sometimes if you do it, you get these little points. This might be kind of narrow to do. Okay, let's see what that looks like. I just wanted to kind of break up. There we go. You can kind of see hopefully a little of the texture in there. So then we're just going to, advise you to use your silicone mat because we're going to glue it down. And then glue, and then kind of decide that you kind of play with it. That kind of does have a lot of rough stuff to it. And this one will go on the bottom. So even if this was up higher, that's okay because we'll put that there. I just don't think I want it too high. And if it's longer, you can even put it on the diagonal. We will do that one. We'll do that one on the diagonal, and then this one, there we go. And you just want to be able to cover up with this next one. You just want to cover up that flat edge like that. So I think that will be good. And then we'll stick in some trees. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, you could put the glue on the white, but I actually found, I think I might have a clog. Can I come out? I feel like it's going to burst out. It's like right there. There we go. Let's see if that worked. I have another glue up here. It clogged. All right. So we're going to stick this on here like that. And then I'll grab my other glue. This is the new one. Again, I can put glue because this is a skinny one. I'll probably put it on here. And we said we were going to do this on the diagonal, right? And then this one, I'm actually going to put the glue on the white here. This will go right on top. That. And then we're going to let it dry before we trim it. I could have overhanged this on the bottom. We could trim it, but since I have two straight edges, I did just align that. And this part needs a little glue. Let's check your edges. I think we're good. Okay, so now we'll do the other side or the other piece. Okay, that one went kind of straight across. Let's see if we can do better. There we go. That's much better. We'll use that one. Maybe we'll actually use a little bit of the landscape up here. That looks kind of flat. This has a little slope to it. There we go. So when you do it in the portrait position, if you do it high and if your layers are skinny, you're just gonna have to have multiple layers. Like this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers. Um, so just, or you can just scoot it down a little bit so you don't have to have as many layers. That's better. And see, I have that blue space, so we're gonna need a little bit more. Let's see. Let's get these all in line here. There we go. That works because that will be trimmed. So again, we just kind of move them down a little bit. And I'm just going to put some glue right across there and stick that down. And you can actually keep even doing that. Just want to cover up that little blue. Last one. And the other good reason why, maybe put a little on the edge. We just put some on the bottom, then we can tuck some things in. Oops. I said oops because my glue went a little bit too much higher up. We can tuck some things in like the snowman or Santa and some trees. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry and we're gonna stamp. I'm gonna put my covers on so these don't clog anymore. Put those aside. This one I'll save, make another card later. Those in my bucket. And we're gonna, oh, actually, silly, I need those. We need to stamp a Santa and snowman. So I'm gonna use Festive Friends. I've used this a bunch. I love this set. And it is still available. So we're going to stamp it with our memento because we're going to use Blends markers. Do you guys like that sale? About 40% off sale on Blends markers. That was awesome. Okay. I'm just gonna, I like to do it upside down so I can fit two on. Ooh, sticky ink. Okay. All right, so I have been in the mindset of cutting before coloring because sometimes I'll do this beautiful job coloring and then I cut and my dye would move over and then you have to start over again. So I've been cutting. So I happen to have two sets because we use this for an event, which I don't need two sets right now, but it was handy. If you're making multiples, um, that was helpful. And is my paper, my paper is just a little bit too wide, and that's okay to fit into my mini machine. So all I'm gonna do is cut them, and then they'll fit. Let's see if we can cut them at the same time. We got a snowman, and we have Santa. And look, oh, I did do it right. These I love because they're easy to line up. Some dies, you really have to pay attention, but these ones kind of line up pretty easy. That look good. Okay. Make that straight. There we go. Okay, so now we have a Santa and we have a snowman. Oh, I just realized I didn't bring up any orange for the snowman's nose, but I can always fill that in later. Okay. I feel like I'm out of practice doing lives. I had been away for so long. I know I did a live last week, but I still feel out of practice. Okay, so now we'll just do a quick coloring. So I brought up some colors. We'll start with the reds. So when I color my Santa, I usually do a little dark red here, a little dark red under the beard, and maybe a little bit on the kind of the armpits. And then I kind of fill that in with the lighter red. Because each blends marker comes with, it's a pair, so you get a dark and light of the same color, which is nice because it helps you do the blending or the shading. And then I'll just go over a little bit there. And I like to spin my, whatever I'm coloring, so I can kind of always see it from the same angle. We'll go over that a little bit. All right, so that's all the red on that one. And we'll give the snowman, snow person, a little red scarf. Same thing. I'm gonna give a little shading, just that dark. And then all right. I always like to go over where I did that dark part, like at least twice, because it blends that all in together. But I like the shading it gives. And it eliminates any lines. Okay. Oh, we should probably do stripes on the hat. I'll just do a flat stripe, meaning like I won't do any shading. Okay. My lines weren't perfect, but that's okay. All right, so now we're going to, I took out, usually I've been using the pecan pie, I actually just go right over the black stamped image of the arm, with just some brown, because I think it brings it to life a little bit more for the twigs of the arm. And then again, we'll just do the same colors. I did this is cloud cover, which is really kind of a fun color. It's like a gray blue. And depending what you pair it up with, if you pair it more with grays, it's more gray. You pair it with more blues, it brings out the blue. So I've been doing like the darker on the closer to the head, and then I've been doing the lighter version. You could do whatever you like. Okay, so there's the hat. And we'll have to get to that nose later because I don't have anything that's orange around me. And also, what I might do is when I stamped it, it didn't do the best job with the eyes, like it's a little light, but I do have, not with me, but a black actually marker. And so I will just go over those with black and it really makes them pop. The Santas aren't too bad. And so for the Santa, what I like to use is, make sure it's, nope, the light pool party. I know I've showed you this before, but I like to go a little bit of pool party on the pom-pom and the little hat and a little bit of his white belt area. Um, because I think that hopefully if you could see it, that just gives a little bit of dimension. So it's just not all flat white because you have the white beard. I actually didn't bring up a skin tone, so for now he's just gonna have a white face. And how I can break that up even more is so we have the pool party. Oh, I didn't bring up. Hmm, I thought I brought up all my colors. So what we're gonna use instead, since I just said the cloud cover was like a gray, let's first color his boots that color. Make sure that that works. I thought I had smoky slate in this bunch of markers and I didn't. All right. So that's works. So, now they look gray. So what I'm going to do is actually I'll do it the lighter cloud cover. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to put a little bit of gray in his whiskers, not to make him have gray hair, but it just kind of makes the hair pop up a little bit more. Hopefully you can see the difference. And I will probably go back and I usually use like a light, either petal pink or I've used bronze for his skin tone. Oh, actually, you know what? A pecan. I can have a darker skin Santa on this one because I have it. And don't forget the ears. Sometimes I forget his ears. And his nose. Usually I use bronze, but the pecan will work. Okay. So now all I have to add, is his gloves, is the snowman's nose. This is a shaded spruce, the dark one. A little dark, but that's okay. All right, so there's the coloring. So you could stamp a whole bunch of Santas and snowmen watching a movie, and then you can kind of make these assembly line. You could have them all ready. All right, so now we're going to go back to this part, and I'm going to take my trimmer. I'm going to flip it over so you can see that that was springtime paper. You could either take scissors and cut it, or I've just been aligning my paper right up to that cutting track and cutting it that way. All righty, I'm just looking at the comments. I always forget to look. Diane Thompson, I just love the stamp set in your videos. I am so happy you wrote that and that you think that way. It's a fun stamp set. I've been using it tons. Um, it's a good one. So I'm glad you like it too. And I should ask you guys how your Thanksgivings were. Seems like it was so far away, but really, it wasn't. I was very happy I did not cook this year. I had been away, so there was no way I was going to be able to cook. So we went down to my aunt's house, which is what we used to do as a kid. Um, so that was fun. And there was a whole bunch of us there, so that was good. So yeah, so let me know if you had a fun time Thanksgiving, if you cooked, if you didn't, if you're happy to cook or happy not to cook. Okay, so now I'm just going to add these on here. And again, this is Lost Lagoon. And this paper, this is a Lost Lagoon, but it also had some old retired colors to it. The boho blue and the wild wheat. But I think the Lost Lagoon is a nice base for it. And you could use any background paper, even if it wasn't blue, I mean, I picked the blue kind of like a sky, but you could pick anything. Alrighty. So here we go there. And so now, well, I did this the other day with my samples. I probably should have stamped a sentiment on before I glued on just in case, but we're just going to go with it. We'll just make it work. So what did I say? I said we were going to do the Santa on this one and we're going to do the snowman on this one. So you see how they can just tuck right in because I didn't put glue all the way. That's kind of nice. And then we'll do that too. You can kind of see one of his boots. And then I have these I had cut a long time ago. And I was wondering why we've been missing some of these containers in the kitchen, and now I know why. All right, so these trees are all from that same set, the Festive Friends. You get two different trees. These are the two shaped trees. You also get a different tree for the stamping. We do have, let's see, I happen to have, well, maybe, again, this is all about using what you have. We'll see, maybe we'll use those snowflakes. I'm just going to try to make them a little bit different than the samples I showed you. All right, so here are the two ones. Yeah, make sure you could see them. So we're making them a little bit different. So how about we use these trees? We'll tuck one in there. Yeah, we could do that. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is just put some glue, and we're just gonna lift and tuck. And that glue will dry because there's little hash marks in here. Oh, I'm gonna put, that works out. I'm gonna put this part of the tree on top of the snow, and that part will go underneath the snow. And what I'm gonna do, can I do that with his feet? I can, but I'm gonna put some of his feet under the snow. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna find my dimensionals. I'm gonna put a dimensional on the top of his head, and then I'm gonna put some glue by his boots. And that way, again, I'm gonna tuck his boots in a little bit. And then the dimensional kind of has them coming up a little bit. And we'll stamp some words there. We'll look for something in a minute. And then we'll see if we want to use those snowflakes. But let's put the, he looks so funny with his plain nose. The only, you just have to make sure that the tree is not higher than the card, so it fits in the envelope. Let's put a little glue. And it just fits. There's one tree. And then we can put, it's kind of fun with the layers because then you can kind of put the trees at different heights. And if we have to, we can cut one down. Hmm. Well, you know what, maybe we'll do it. Oh, let's do that. But before I glue it down, let's find some words that will fit. So like I said at the way beginning, or maybe in the description I wrote, I have all these old, some of them are really old paper pumpkin stamp sets. And like I said, you can use what you have. Certainly could use the words that came with this stamp set. And I also have this one, which is where I use the fa la 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 on that one. But let's see. I used the Let It Snow already. Let's see if we have anything else. That one's tiny. I can't read it. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Holidays. And joy. I like joy, but I don't think I left enough room. Oh, joy will fit there. Okay, so that's why I did put the tree down. All right, so we have our block, and I just brought up um Pretty Peacock as ink, which is just a little bit darker. Look at that, I have dimensional stuck under there. It's just a little bit darker than the Lost Lagoon, so I thought that would work. So joy. Okay, I know I have to re-ink that, so that works. So that means this tree needs to go somewhere else. And I feel like, well, we could do it that way. I feel like we needed 3 trees on that one. We're gonna tuck that in. best that it lets us tuck it in. Straighten it out. And this one will go on top. Oh, you know what? I have some mini dimensionals here. Let's use those on this tree. Those fit perfectly. Since it's going to be on top anyways, they fit perfectly on the bottom. Let's see if that works. 3 is enough. There we go. That works. All right, so the Santa, we need Merry Christmas, more. Oh, that says more Merry. Let's see. Because these are skinnier, if it was wider, I would have more of a choice. Let's see. Does this Merry Christmas fit in here? I'm afraid if I stamped on top of that, it wouldn't stamp so well. So I need it. And you guys don't need to be watching. Oh, hold on. I brought these up. Um, these work great when you're in a pinch. So let's see. The Merry Christmas on here has happy because this can go on top. So we don't have to worry about stamping. That one said Happy Holidays. I just want to see if there's a Merry Christmas in the black because there is in the white. But Happy Holiday. I guess that's the same one. There's a Merry Christmas, but I think the white on the white won't work. So let's just do that. Let's just do, where did it go? Happy Holidays. That works. All right, like I said, we're using what we have because we are approaching the crunch time of just getting things done. All right, and on the inside, I will probably cut a sheet of white paper because this is a little bit dark and stamp something. Happy Holidays. That works. Or if you had leftover ripped snow, which I know I did somewhere, not this, but you could always put that on the inside because it's not, this is one of those colors that's like dark, but not too dark to write something with a message. So you could, I can't pick it up. My hands aren't working. You could always, you get the idea. You could put snow on the inside. Oh, but we had these snowflakes. Let's see. We have a silver one, or we have a light blue one. Or I brought up some old gems that could act like snowflakes. So how about we use these ones? These kind of be like, oh, I do. I have 2 little ones. I like to put little ones next to big ones if you can. And then I can have a big one on its own. There we go. So that has some gems. And then I've made a mess. Then this one, I think this one's actually all right because this has a lot more stuff on it. I don't think it needs any gems. Unless, no. No. Okay, let me clear this off. And we'll put what we did. Sorry about the backwards words. I don't even know what to. I'm just wondering. Yeah, I'll have to figure that out. I'm sure there's some sort of setting that does that, but I don't want to mess it up. And now they're all going crooked because that's backwards on the screen. All right. Anyways, that's what I had. So I did use the Festive Friends, and I used the dies that go with it. I use the Storybook, I almost said Storybook Coop. That's the bookstore we go to. The Storybook Moments paper, which is definitely not Christmas. And There we go. So yeah, so um, can you tell that I'm trying to get everything done in a short period of time? As I'm sure you guys are too. So yeah, so just kind of use up your paper. It doesn't have to be what's traditionally Christmas, but you can make it work by just kind of putting a few elements together. Okay, we did it. So I will work on figuring out that backwards screen, hopefully, before Ann and I go live on Thursday. For those of you watching or anyone new to me, I have a good friend, Ann Lewis, who is a demonstrator in Australia, and we once a month do our lives together. And she and I were just traveling together last month that I'm still trying to catch up from. And we'll be back together live on Thursday evening, starting at 7 o'clock Eastern time. And I will post about that. It was my newsletter this morning with all the times, but I'll put all the time zone times on there for you. And what are we doing? We are putting together, which is sometimes I find that people really like to receive my cards as a gift. So I'm just gonna kind of put a few cards together and we're gonna package them. So we're gonna show you different ways of packaging your cards. It makes a great last minute gift, but actually people really like it, so they don't think it's last minute. So it's a good one to do. Nancy says, cute cards. Thank you, Nancy. All right, so let's see. I think that was pretty much what I had for you. So next week, I'm going to make another. Actually, there's a possibility I might make a total different card using the same stamp set. I'm going to do one of our club cards because we have club next week. So I'm going to do one of those. And so there's a possibility I might use this stamp set again because I like it so much. And this one will sparkle, as you'll see. So thank you very much for watching and for your patience on this new software as I get to learn it. But I think it will work out well once we figure it out. And if you have any questions about anything, please reach out to me just at Christine@mailsomethingpretty.com. Email's the best way to get in touch with me. I check it several times a day and I'll get right back to you. So thank you again. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you guys Thursday and then next Tuesday. And now I have to figure out what button to push.